The dark emptiness of space was broken by a glimmer of light far beyond the Orion sector. The Predator fleet had been patrolling this system for centuries, feeding on planets and colonies too weak to resist. They were confident, ruthless, and feared across neighboring systems. No civilization had ever dared to challenge them, yet in the stillness of the void, a new presence appeared, a human fleet. It was unlike anything the aliens had ever encountered. Sleek ships, glowing faintly with blue and gold lights, moved with an almost playful precision. At the center was a massive ship, its design unfamiliar and alien in its own way. It projected strength without aggression. The Predators paused, observing. Captain Aaron stood on the bridge of the flagship Vanguard, staring at the alien fleet through the observation window. The stars outside reflected faintly in her eyes, but her mind was focused. "They don't know what's coming," she said softly to Engineer Lyra, who was busy monitoring the ship's systems. Lyra looked up, her dark hair catching the artificial light of the control room. "They think humans are weak," she said. "They've never met us like this before. I hope they learn quickly." Adine smiled faintly. "They will. But not before they understand that intelligence and courage are more powerful than brute strength." Lyra's fingers danced across the controls. The Vanguard responded immediately, shields flickering into a defensive pattern that was new even to the fleet's veteran commanders. The human ships moved in perfect synchronization, a ballet of metal and energy. It was precise, elegant, and terrifying to watch. The alien observers in their massive black ships were puzzled. Their sensors could not predict human movements. Every maneuver was unexpected, almost chaotic, yet perfectly effective. One Predator commander hissed at the data reports, his mandibles clicking. "What is this?" he demanded. "They are not like the other species. They are ... clever. Too clever." Among the human fleet, smaller ships darted around the flagship, testing defenses and exploring the surrounding asteroid fields. Drones were launched to map the system and gather intelligence. Every action was purposeful yet calm. There was no panic, no rush. Humans had a strange confidence that unsettled the alien fleet. On the bridge, Irene addressed the fleet through a calm, steady voice. "Maintain formation. Observe, but do not engage unless provoked. Let them underestimate us. We fight only when necessary." The Predators did not fully understand why humans hesitated. Most species would attack immediately when sensing a threat. But humans were different. They calculated, they planned, and they used intelligence in ways aliens rarely experienced. A sudden flicker appeared on the observation screen. Alien scouts had moved closer, probing the outer rim of the human formation. Small, fast ships, armed lightly but designed to test defenses. "Shall we respond?" asked a young officer, her hands tight on the console. Aaron shook her head. "No, let them come closer. Let them see we are ready." Fear is not created by attack alone. Scouts advanced, and the humans watched carefully. When the aliens fired a small volley of plasma bolts, the Vanguard did not retaliate immediately. Instead, it activated a defensive field that absorbed the energy and redirected it harmlessly into space. The alien scouts were shocked. "What is happening?" one commander shouted. "They are not retreating, but they are not destroyed either." Lyra leaned over Aaron's shoulder. "They are learning that humans do not act like prey. We do not panic. We do not flee. And we do not attack unless necessary. That confuses them." The scouts retreated, transmitting their report back to the Predator fleet. Alien leaders convened a council in orbit around a nearby gas giant. Hissing voices argued, questioning the humans' intentions. Some wanted to attack, to see if these humans were as strong as their actions suggested. Others urged caution, sensing danger in the unknown. Meanwhile, human crews prepared quietly for any eventuality. Engineers checked the engines. Weapon officers simulated defensive scenarios. Pilots adjusted their flight paths with perfect precision. Every human seemed to know their role. Every role contributed to a larger plan that even the aliens could not predict. In a quieter room of the Vanguard, Captain Aaron and Lyra reviewed the fleet's data. Every movement we make is deliberate, Aaron said. They see strength, but they do not see the thought behind it. That is our advantage, Lyra nodded. It is almost artistic, the way we move together, yet independently. The Predators will remember this moment. They always do. Beyond the human fleet, the Predator leaders debated fiercely. One elder, scarred from centuries of hunting, hissed in frustration. They are too clever, he said. No species moves like this. Even our fastest strike teams cannot touch them. You underestimate them, another said, frowning. They may look fragile, but every decision is calculated. Every movement has purpose. Perhaps they are stronger than we imagined. Back on the Vanguard, Erin's attention shifted to the communications console. She considered sending a message, a signal that humans were ready to negotiate if necessary, but also capable of defending themselves. After a brief pause, she made a decision. Not yet, she said. Let them realize it themselves. Respect is earned, not given. Days passed, and the human fleet continued to patrol the system, projecting quiet confidence. The aliens grew anxious. For the first time in many generations, they hesitated. Their attacks slowed. Their patrols were cautious. Even the most aggressive predators began to avoid the human ships. Sensing the invisible strength that lay behind human calm and strategy, human crews observed the alien fleet carefully, but did not provoke them. They repaired colonies, checked sensors, and ran drills that seemed almost playful. The humans' presence alone began to inspire hope in the local settlements. Colonies that had once feared the Predator fleet as an unstoppable force. Captain Aaron walked through the fleet's corridors, serving her crew. Young pilots practiced maneuvers with holographic targets. Engineers adjusted shields and propulsion systems. Each human moved with purpose, but there was laughter and camaraderie. Strength and joy coexisted, combination the aliens could not understand. Lyra joined Aaron in the observation lounge, sipping a cup of steaming nutrient tea. Do you think they will attack? She asked. Aaron shook her head. Not yet. They are learning. They are realizing that humans are different. Not weak, not predictable. Different is dangerous, even to predators. In orbit above the largest colony, the humans projected a signal for the aliens to see a demonstration of their advanced technology, with holographic displays showing the fleet's coordination and readiness. The predators watched, their curiosity and fear growing. What is this? One elder hissed, his eyes wide. They are not attacking, but they show power. It is unsettling. Yes, another said. We have faced many civilizations, but none like this. These humans, they are not prey. They are a force. As the sun of the system rose over distant planets, the human fleet glimmered like a beacon of hope. Captain Aaron looked out at the horizon of stars. We will protect this system, she said softly. And when the time comes, we will show them why humans are not to be underestimated. The alien predators, for the first time, hesitated. They backed away slightly, unsure of what to do next. For the humans, this was victory enough for now, a chance to observe, learn, and prepare. The galaxy had not seen the full power of humanity yet, but it was coming. And when it did, even the fiercest predators would think twice. The human fleet continued to orbit the system, quiet yet commanding. For days, the predators had kept their distance, watching from afar, uncertain. The humans seemed calm, but they were far from idle. On board the flagship Vanguard, Captain Aaron and Engineer Lyra prepared for a demonstration that would show the galaxy just how extraordinary humanity could be. The time had come to reveal the Vanguard fully. It was no ordinary ship. Its hull shimmered with adaptive alloys that could change shape slightly to absorb energy attacks. Its engines could redirect energy for rapid acceleration or sudden maneuvers. And its defense systems were unlike anything the predators had seen. Shield network that could predict attacks and respond almost instinctively. Lyra, are the systems ready? Aaron asked, standing on the observation deck. Her eyes scanned the fleet, seeing every ship in perfect formation. Lyra's hands flew over the control panels. All systems are online. The ship is ready for demonstration. I've programmed sequences that will show both speed and defense capabilities. The predators won't believe it. Aaron nodded. Then let's begin. A signal was sent across the system, a broadcast visible to all nearby ships. The Vanguard's hull shimmered, releasing a cascade of holographic projections. It was as if the ship itself was alive, flowing and moving in ways no alien technology could imitate. Smaller ships danced around it, matching its patterns perfectly. From the Predator's perspective, it was almost frightening. Their sensors could not anticipate human movements. The ships weaved in and out of asteroid belts, looped through energy fields, and aligned with perfect timing. One scout tried to close in, thinking it could disrupt the formation, but before it could act, the Vanguard's shields subtly shifted, diverting the scout's energy beam harmlessly into space. "Impressive," whispered one Predator commander. "They are too fast. Too coordinated." "They are not attacking yet," another said, frowning. "And yet, we feel the threat." "Why?" Aaron watched the alien reactions through long-range sensors. Every movement of her ship and the fleet was deliberate, meant to communicate strength without aggression. Humans had learned that true power was not just in destruction, but in presence, Lyra, and in confidence. Lyra leaned over the console. "They are beginning to respect us, Aaron. Look at their formations. They are moving back. Even the youngest Predators are hesitating." Aaron smiled faintly. "Good. Respect, not fear. That is what makes humans different. We do not need to destroy to show strength. We need to prove we are capable and clever." The demonstration continued for hours. The Vanguard shifted into a defensive configuration, then into rapid assault patterns designed to confuse but never to harm. The Predators observed, unable to decide whether to attack or retreat. Each time they made a move, the humans responded with strategy, not raw power. Every maneuver sent a message. Humans were unpredictable, disciplined, and fearless. In the human fleet, crews watched the display with pride. Pilots grinned as their ships moved in perfect sync. Engineers checked shields and propulsion systems, adjusting quietly for optimal performance. The humans were confident but never arrogant. They understood that power alone could not protect them. It was intelligence, courage, and teamwork that truly mattered. A small alien probe attempted to breach the perimeter. It fired a concentrated energy pulse at one of the human ships, expecting an easy kill. The pulse struck the shield and was absorbed, then redirected, knocking the probe harmlessly aside. The alien fleet paused, stunned. "What is this?" hissed a Predator commander. "They are not destroyed. Yet they are untouchable." "Predictive shields," said another, his voice trembling. "They anticipate our moves before we even make them." On the Vanguard, Aaron addressed her crew. "Prepare for communication. We will offer peace, but we will not retreat. Let them understand that humans protect what is ours and what cannot defend itself." Lyra nodded. "The systems are ready. The message will project both strength and intelligence. They will see that we are not simple prey. They will see that humans think, plan, and act differently." The human fleet then performed a coordinated maneuver that created a visual display of pure human ingenuity. Ships weaved into geometric patterns, shifting constantly to demonstrate flexibility and speed. The Predators watched silently, some hissing in confusion. Others paused entirely, unsure if they were witnessing a threat or a warning. One of the elder Predators, scarred from centuries of conquest, growled, "They are different. Too different. They move like we do, but they anticipate our thoughts. They are not like any species we have hunted before," as another agreed, "and they do not kill without reason. That is, unfamiliar. It is almost noble." Back on the Vanguard, Aaron considered the Predator's reactions. Humans had learned long ago that diplomacy was as powerful as weapons, sometimes even more powerful. She activated the communication channel, sending a holographic projection visible to the alien fleet. A human figure appeared, calm, confident, and unarmed. It was Erin herself. She spoke slowly, clearly, in a language the Predators could understand, thanks to advanced translation systems. We are humans. We protect our systems, our colonies, and those who cannot protect themselves. We do not seek war, but we are prepared to defend. Observe us, learn from us, and know that aggression will meet calculated resistance. The alien fleet hesitated. Some were stunned into silence. Others hissed in frustration, trying to interpret the warning. For the first time, many Predators felt an emotion they did not understand, caution mixed with respect. Lyra whispered to Aaron, "They are listening, and they are thinking." "Yes," Aaron replied. "Exactly what we hoped. Humans do not rely on fear alone. We rely on intelligence, courage, and foresight. That is why even the fiercest Predator hesitates." The demonstration ended with the fleet forming a massive protective formation around the Vanguard. Energy shields pulsed gently, showing both defensive strength and coordination. It was not a threat, yet it was a message the Predators could not ignore. In the alien fleet, the leaders argued. Some wanted to retreat immediately, unwilling to risk confrontation with such clever opponents. Others insisted on testing the humans further, driven by pride and centuries of conquest. But even the most aggressive Predators moved cautiously, hesitant to make the first move, on board the Vanguard. Aaron and Lyra watched quietly, letting the aliens reach their own conclusions. "They are learning," Aaron said softly. "They are beginning to understand that humans are not ordinary. That our strength is more than weapons. It is mind, courage, and unity." Lyra smiled. "I think they will retreat for now. They are respecting us, even if they don't fully understand why." The human fleet maintained its presence in the system, repairing colonies, running simulations, and observing the Predators from a safe distance. For the humans, it was a time to strengthen defenses and refine strategies. For the aliens, it was a moment of uneasy hesitation, a rare feeling for a species used to dominance. As the system's sun set over distant planets, the Vanguard glimmered against the black of space. Captain Aaron looked out at the stars, thinking of the work ahead. Humans had made their presence known. They had revealed the power of ingenuity, courage, and teamwork. The galaxy was beginning to notice, and the Predators, for the first time in their long history, wondered if humanity might be a species they could not conquer. The stage was set for future encounters, battles, and alliances. Humans had shown that strength was not just in weapons, but in thought, strategy, and the courage to stand firm when faced with danger. Even the fiercest Predators had begun to understand. In this galaxy, humans were not to be underestimated. The calm in the system was a fragile illusion. For days, the Predator fleet had observed from a distance, unsure of the humans' intentions. They had begun to respect the fleet's strength and intelligence, but some among them were not willing to retreat quietly. Pride and centuries of conquest drove them forward, testing limits they had never dared to test before. On a small, vulnerable colony at the edge of the system, the Predators made their first move. They launched a strike team of sleek black ships faster than any humans had seen. It's designed to strike quickly and vanish before retaliation could come. Their target was a mining station, a colony rich in resources but lightly defended. Captain Aaron, communications officer, called from the bridge of the Vanguard. Predator strike detected. "They are heading for the outer colony." Aaron stood, eyes sharp. "Prepare the fleet for immediate response. Notify the colony. Evacuate civilians to the shelters. We are not here to kill. They are testing us, and we will respond intelligently, not recklessly." Lyra adjusted the shields on the Vanguard. "Defensive grids are online. Weapons ready, but we will use them carefully. No unnecessary destruction." The human fleet moved in perfect synchrony. Smaller patrol ships reached the colony first, creating protective barriers around critical infrastructure. Drones scanned for enemy ships and relayed real-time data to the Vanguard. Every human crew member knew their role, and every role worked seamlessly with the others. The Predator strike team arrived, releasing energy pulses toward the colony's mining facilities. The humans did not panic. Instead, the Vanguard projected a protective field that absorbed the attacks and redirected them harmlessly into space. Alien pilots blinked at the unexpected countermeasure. Their weapons were designed to destroy, not to be turned aside. A young human pilot, Lieutenant Kira, maneuvered her ship between two Predator vessels. Her movements were precise, almost daring. The Predators fired, expecting an easy kill, but Kira's ship twisted and spun, dodging each attack effortlessly. Lieutenant Kira, hold formation. Aaron's voice came over the comms. Do not overextend. Use them against themselves. Kira grinned. Yes, ma'am. Watch this. She triggered a maneuver that forced the Predators into a tight pattern, slowing their movements and making them predictable. Small bursts from human ships nudged the aliens' course corrections. Not to destroy them, but to show humans control of the battle space. From the Predator perspective, it was baffling. Every attack they made was countered, not with aggression, but with intelligence. They could not understand why humans did not simply fire and destroy. It was unfamiliar, and it made them hesitant. On the colony, civilians watched in awe as human ships formed a protective circle around their homes. Engineers and volunteers coordinated evacuation and defense, while soldiers guided people to safety. There was no panic, only calm and focused action. Aaron activated the communication channel to the Predators. Her holographic form appeared in the void before the striking team. Your attack is noted, she said calmly. You may test us, but we will not allow unnecessary destruction. Stand down, and no one will be harmed. Persist, and we will defend the colony. The Predators hesitated, their sensors detecting the coordinated fleet. Some considered retreat, but pride pushed others forward. They fired again, this time with slightly more caution. The humans responded not with indiscriminate attacks, but with precise defensive measures that neutralized the threat. Engineer Lyra monitored the shields. The Predators are learning, Aaron. Every time they attack, they fall into our patterns. We are teaching them without firing a single shot to kill, Aaron nodded. That is the strength of humanity. Strategy and patience. We show them power, but also restraint. One Predator commander hissed angrily. Why do they not destroy us? Are they weak? Or cleverer than we imagined? Yes, another replied. They are unpredictable, and they do not act like prey. Even when cornered, they do not panic. That is alarming. The battle continued for hours, but the humans maintained control with minimal damage. The colony remained intact, and the Predators were frustrated by their inability to gain ground. Every human maneuver sent a message. They were not only strong but intelligent, courageous, and disciplined. Amid the chaos, Captain Aaron identified the leader of the strike team, a massive Predator vessel at the center of the formation. It was larger than the others, and its crew appeared skilled and aggressive. Lyra, prepare the tactical display, Aaron said. I want them to see the full capabilities of the Vanguard. Not to destroy, but to demonstrate strength and control. Lyra nodded and activated the display. The Vanguard shifted its shields into a radiant pattern, projecting holographic simulations of the human fleet's response to any threat. The Predators could see, almost in real time, how humans would adapt to every possible move. It was like a warning written in light. Humans could respond to any aggression with intelligence, strategy, and precision. The Predator strike leader hissed in disbelief. They anticipate everything. Everything. Yes, another said, and they do not attack recklessly. Every move is deliberate. How can this be? They're humans. In the colony, civilians began to cheer quietly. They had feared annihilation, yet the humans had defended them without unnecessary violence. Children pointed at the sky, watching the human ships dance around the Predators, and mothers smiled, grateful for the calm bravery of their protectors. Back on the Vanguard, Aaron and Lyra watched the Predators carefully. They had no desire to destroy them unnecessarily, but they needed the aliens to understand that aggression would meet calculated defense. They are learning, Aaron said softly. Even the fiercest Predators are realizing that humans are not ordinary. They respect skill, courage, and intelligence, even if they are unwilling to admit it yet. Lyra smiled. And they will. Soon they will think twice before attacking any human colony. As the strike team realized it could not succeed, it began a cautious retreat. The humans did not pursue aggressively. They allowed the predators to withdraw, demonstrating that humanity's power was not in raw destruction, but in control and intelligence. Retreating, the communications officer reported. Predators are pulling back. Good, Aaron said. That is enough for today. Humanity has shown its strength, but also its restraint. That is what sets us apart. The Predator fleet, commanders argued. Some were humiliated by the retreat, while others admitted grudgingly that humans were not prey to be hunted. Their arrogance had met with patience and skill, and for the first time, they felt caution when facing humans. The colony was safe. The human fleet remained strong, and the Vanguard had proven its capability. Captain Aaron walked through the corridors of her ship, passing crew members who were tired but proud. Each human knew they had not only defended a colony, but had also set a precedent. Humans were intelligent, brave, and united. And even the predators had begun to notice. Lyra joined Aaron on the observation deck. They will not forget this day, she said quietly. Even the most aggressive predators will think twice before attacking humans again. Aaron looked out at the stars, feeling the weight of responsibility. Yes, humanity has shown what it can do, but we must continue to protect, to learn, and to grow stronger. The galaxy is vast, and there are challenges ahead. Today we have won a battle, but tomorrow, we prepare for what comes next. The human fleet remained vigilant, watching the predators from a safe distance. For the first time, the predators felt caution, hesitation, and respect. For humans, it was proof that courage, intelligence, and teamwork could overcome fearsome opponents without unnecessary bloodshed. And in the quiet of space, as the system's sun cast its golden light on distant planets, the humans celebrated a small but significant victory. They had defended life, upheld their values, and sent a message across the stars. Humanity would protect what mattered. And even the fiercest predators would think twice before challenging them again. The first engagement had ended. But it was only the beginning. Humans had shown the galaxy that strength was not just in weapons, but in courage, intelligence, and the will to stand united against any threat, even the predators. Creatures that had never hesitated before had backed away, and that, Captain Aaron knew, was just the start of humanity's legend. The Predator fleet lingered at the edge of the system, uneasy. For the first time in their long history, they had faced humans who did not panic, who did not flee, and who did not attack without reason. They had tested the human fleet with small strikes, only to be met with precision, strategy, and restraint. And now, the predators were unsure what to do next. Captain Aaron stood on the bridge of the Vanguard, watching the alien ships through the observation window. Their shapes loomed dark against the backdrop of distant stars. Some were still angry at the setbacks they had faced. Others appeared confused, hesitant, and even curious. "Lyra, status report," Aaron asked. Lyra's fingers moved across the controls. "All systems are stable. Shields, weapons, and defense grids are fully operational. Fleet formation is tight. We are ready for any engagement, but I don't see any immediate aggression from the predators. They are cautious, almost reluctant to approach." Aaron nodded. "Exactly what we want. Let them realize the cost of unnecessary aggression." Across the system, predator leaders convened in their flagship. Arguments were fierce. "We should retreat," one elder hissed. "These humans are unlike any species we have faced. Even our fastest strike teams cannot harm them effectively. Every attack we make is countered. We risk unnecessary loss." "No," another commander replied. "We are hunters. We do not flee. We will strike again and show them who controls this sector." "Do you not see?" the elder said, his voice sharp. "They are not ordinary prey. They are intelligent, disciplined, and united. They act with purpose. They anticipate our moves. If we continue, we may lose more than we gain. Back on the Vanguard, Erin watched the predators through long-range scanners. They are debating, she said quietly. And that hesitation is exactly what humans do best. We turn fear and uncertainty into advantage without firing a single destructive shot. Lyra smiled. They are learning. Even the fiercest predators are starting to respect humans, and when respect is combined with caution, it is more powerful than any weapon. The human fleet moved gently through the system, maintaining presence without provocation. Smaller ships patrolled the colonies and asteroid belts, while drones scanned the perimeter. Each movement was deliberate. A silent message. Humans were not afraid, but they were ready. Then, the Vanguard activated a new defensive measure, holographic projection of the fleet, showing every possible response to an attack, simulating counterattacks with precision. It was not a threat to destroy, but a warning. Humans could defend themselves against any aggression, anywhere, anytime. The predators observed in shock. Their own calculations could not match what they saw. Every path, every maneuver, every reaction was anticipated. Even the most confident predator commanders began to step back, realizing the humans were not to be underestimated. One young predator pilot whispered to his superior, "They are not only strong, they think differently. They are frightening in their own way." "Yes," the elder replied. "They are not our prey. We may have underestimated them for the first time in centuries." Captain Erin saw the subtle shifts in the alien fleet. Some ships were moving back slowly. Others lingered uncertain. It was a delicate dance of fear and respect. Humans were teaching the predators the value of caution without causing destruction. "Lyra," Erin said, "prepare the negotiation broadcast. Let them know humans protect life, but will defend what is ours. Let them understand that retreat is an option, not surrender." "Right." Lyra nodded. "Message is ready, Captain." She activated the communication channel, and a holographic projection appeared in front of the Predator flagship. Erin's calm figure spoke slowly and clearly. "We are humans. We protect our colonies and those who cannot protect themselves. We do not seek conflict, but we are prepared to defend. Observe our strength and know that unnecessary aggression will meet calculated resistance. You may withdraw now and maintain your dignity, or persist and risk loss. The choice is yours." The Predator leaders hissed, murmuring among themselves. Some wanted to argue, but the display of the human fleet's power, combined with the calm confidence in Erin's voice, silenced many. They had faced countless species before, but never one that combined strategy, intelligence, and restraint so perfectly. Slowly, the fleet began to move back. First, a few scouts. Then, larger ships followed. The predators were testing their pride against reality and discovering that humans were not ordinary. For the first time, hesitation replaced arrogance. In the human fleet, there was no celebration, only quiet satisfaction. Humans had not fired a single destructive shot in this retreat, yet they had one. The predators had recognized human capability and had chosen to withdraw. Lieutenant Kira, who had led patrols during the first engagement, approached Erin. "Captain, they are pulling back." "They are actually retreating," Erin nodded. "Yes, and that is exactly what we wanted. Humans do not rely solely on weapons. Our intelligence, courage, and strategy are enough to earn respect even from predators," Lyra added, "and the colonies are safe. We defended life without unnecessary destruction. That is human strength." Even the Predator's youngest pilots were beginning to understand the difference. In private conversations, they admitted they had underestimated humans. They had expected fear, panic, and weak defenses. Instead, they found calm, clever, and united opposition. It was a lesson they would not forget. As the alien fleet retreated beyond sensor range, Captain Erin addressed her crew. "Today we have proven that humanity is more than machines and weapons. We are courage, intelligence, and unity. Remember this feeling? Remember that strategy and restraint can achieve victory where aggression alone fails." The fleet adjusted formation, following the retreating predators at a safe distance. Drones mapped the alien movements, recording every reaction, every hesitation, and every sign of respect. These would serve as valuable lessons for future encounters. On board the Vanguard, Aaron and Lyra walked through the observation deck. The stars outside were peaceful again, reflecting the calm that had returned to the system. "They will not forget this day," Lyra said softly. "Even the bravest predators will think twice before returning." Aaron nodded. "No, they will not. Humans have shown that strength is not only in firepower, it is in thought, courage, and the willingness to protect what matters. That is what sets us apart. That is what the galaxy will remember." In the colonies below, humans worked quietly to repair and strengthen infrastructure. Guided by engineers and volunteers from the fleet, children watched human pilots maneuvering in the skies, and families began to speak of hope rather than fear. Humanity had not only defended them, but it also inspired them. The predators. Now a distant threat had been taught an invaluable lesson. Humans were not a species to be underestimated. They did not act like ordinary prey, and they did not rely solely on weapons to win. Intelligence, courage, and unity made them a force that even the fiercest predators respected. Captain Aaron looked out over the stars once more. The human fleet glimmered in the void, a silent symbol of strength and wisdom. They had not sought conflict, yet they had emerged victorious. The galaxy had begun to notice humankind as a species to fear, but as a species to respect. The predators had retreated, but humanity's story was only beginning. The system was safe, the colonies were secure, and the human fleet was stronger than ever. And in the quiet of space, as distant stars shimmered like diamonds, humans prepared for the future. They would explore, protect, and innovate. They would continue to prove that courage, intelligence, and unity were the most powerful weapons in the galaxy. Even the predators, once ruthless and unyielding, had learned a new truth in this galaxy. Humanity was a force that could not be ignored, and that, Captain Aaron knew, was only the beginning. The Predator fleet had withdrawn from the system. Their massive ships, once symbols of terror, now drifted in distant space, hesitating before venturing too close again. Even the fiercest commanders had learned a lesson. Humans were not ordinary prey. And the strength of humanity was not in raw firepower alone. It was in intelligence, courage, and unity. Captain Aaron stood on the bridge of the Vanguard, looking out at the colonies below. Life was returning to normal. Civilians were repairing homes, engineers were rebuilding infrastructure, and human ships patrolled quietly, ensuring no further threats approached. Yet Aaron knew this peace was only temporary. The galaxy was vast, and challenges would come again. "Lyra," Aaron said, turning to the engineer who had worked tirelessly to design the Vanguard and its fleet, "we've proven our strength, but this is only the beginning. We must remain vigilant." Lyra smiled, though her eyes reflected fatigue from the past engagements. "Yes, Captain, but we've done more than defend colonies. We've shown the galaxy that humans are capable of thinking differently, acting courageously, and protecting life without unnecessary destruction." Aaron nodded. "Exactly. That is what sets humans apart. Not aggression, not dominance, but intelligence, unity, and moral strength." Across the colonies, life blossomed once more. Children played in open fields, while human pilots performed formation flights overhead. The sight of humans working together, teaching, and protecting inspired hope not only in their own species, but also in the nearby alien civilizations who had observed the events, in the larger human fleet. Crews held quiet celebrations. No one cheered recklessly. There was a sense of pride rooted in accomplishment and responsibility. They had faced the predators and emerged not only unharmed, but respected. Each crew member knew the galaxy had begun to notice humanity, and that reputation was precious. Lieutenant Kira, who had distinguished herself during the first Predator engagement, approached Aaron with a holographic report. "Captain, the system is secure. Sensor sweeps show no Predator activity nearby, and the colonies are fully operational. We've also received transmissions from nearby species acknowledging our presence and offering cooperation. Aaron's eyes softened. Excellent. Humans not only protect their own, but inspire others to trust and collaborate. That is the kind of influence we need in the galaxy. Lyra adjusted the controls, bringing up simulations of future operations. Captain, the colonies are safe, but I've prepared contingency plans. We can expand patrols, establish alliances, and continue to monitor the predators. We are prepared for anything. Aaron studied the holographic projections, imagining a future where humanity's presence would be known and respected across the stars. Good. Let's make sure humanity's influence spreads not through fear, but through intelligence, courage, and the willingness to protect. In the Predator fleet, debates continued. Even among the most aggressive, a sense of caution had taken root. Reports of the human fleet's precision, restraint, and bravery spread across their communications networks. Stories of the Vanguard and its crew circulated among Predator commanders and pilots, inspiring both fear and respect. One elder Predator hissed quietly to a colleague, "We have underestimated humans. They do not act like prey. They anticipate, adapt, and defend with intelligence. Even our fiercest pride must think twice before challenging them again," as the other replied. "They are different, perhaps even stronger than some of our greatest hunters." Back in the human system, life moved forward. Colonists repaired mining stations and settlements. Engineers trained volunteers to handle emergencies. And children attended schools taught by humans and friendly alien advisors alike. Even the smallest acts of cooperation and protection strengthened humanity's reputation across the stars. Aaron walked along the observation deck of the Vanguard, observing the fleet below. Smaller ships patrolled asteroid fields, while drones monitored distant regions. Each movement was careful, deliberate, and coordinated. Humans had learned that presence, intelligence, and vigilance often achieved more than reckless aggression. Lyra joined her, handing a cup of nutrient tea. "Captain, the fleet is calm, the colonies are secure, and humans have shown the galaxy what we can do. Even the predators are hesitant to return. Our work here is remarkable," Aaron smiled, sipping the tea. "It is remarkable, but it is only the beginning. The galaxy is vast, and our responsibility is immense. Every system we protect, every life we safeguard, strengthens humanity's place in the stars. And the predators are only one part of the equation. Others will test us. But today we have set an example. In the distance, a small alien envoy arrived at the system, signaling cooperation. These species had observed humanity's courage and intelligence and sought alliance. Hoping to benefit from the protection and guidance humans could provide, humans welcomed them, offering resources, technology, and shared knowledge. It was an opportunity to build a network of support and friendship across multiple star systems. Aaron addressed the fleet through the CUM network. Her voice was calm, steady, and filled with authority. "Humans have shown courage, intelligence, and unity. We have defended life, preserved colonies, and inspired others. Our work continues, not for glory, but for the safety and prosperity of all. Let this be a reminder. Strength is not in destruction alone, but in wisdom, cooperation, and the will to do what is right." Across the system, human crews nodded, their hearts filled with pride and purpose. Every pilot, engineer, and soldier knew the truth of Aaron's words. Humanity's strength was in its unity and its courage to act for the good of many, not just itself. The predators, now a distant threat, would remember this day. Across their fleets, reports of the humans' calm intelligence and decisive courage spread quickly. Even the most aggressive among them admitted privately that humans were not to be underestimated. The colonies flourished. Schools, hospitals, and research centers were rebuilt. Humans and allied species worked together to explore the nearby regions, sharing knowledge and technology. Humanity had earned a reputation not for fear or violence, but for courage, intelligence, and moral strength, the true meaning of HFY. Captain Aaron stood once more on the observation deck of the Vanguard. She looked at the stars, feeling the weight of responsibility and the hope of the future. "This is only the beginning," she said softly. "Humanity has shown what we can do, and we will continue to protect, explore, and inspire. The galaxy will remember us not for conquest, but for courage, intelligence, and the will to do what is right." Lyra nodded beside her. "And that is how humanity earns respect, Captain. Not by destroying others, but by showing strength, wisdom, and compassion." As the sun of the system rose over distant planets, the vanguard in the human fleet glimmered like a beacon of hope. They had defended life, earned respect, and begun a new era. Humanity's legend in the galaxy was just beginning, and it would be remembered for generations to come, even the predators. Once ruthless and unyielding had learned a new truth: humans were a force unlike any other. They were not merely survivors, they were thinkers, protectors, and leaders. The galaxy had been reminded that intelligence, courage, and unity could challenge even the fiercest power. And in that quiet of space, as stars twinkled like diamonds across the void, humanity prepared for the adventures and challenges ahead. They would continue to explore, protect, and inspire. And they would never be underestimated again. The era of humanity in the galaxy had begun.